What a moment for the Kitchener Rangers. Start to finish, the best team here at the 2026 Memorial Cup.
The Kitchener Rangers are the 2026 Memorial Cup champions, lifting the trophy last night in Kelowna, BC, officially the best in junior hockey. Good afternoon. They earned the title with a decisive 6-2 win over the Western Hockey League's Everett Silvertips. Billed as a battle of the favorites from the outset, the Rangers earned a bye to the final in round-robin play at the tournament and solidified the ultimate victory, proving to be the class of the Canadian Hockey League this year. CTV's Karis Mapp joins us live with more on all of the excitement. Karis, they capped off an undefeated run and brought the cup home early this morning. This is the Rangers' third Memorial Cup title in franchise history and the first time they've won it since 2003. So there is a lot of excitement in Waterloo Region today.
That's so right, Leanne. An exciting night for the hundreds of Rangers fans in Kelowna and the thousands of fans here at home, but also a very emotional night for the families of the Rangers players. Captain Cameron Reed's parents were out west taking the game in live, and his mom says the entire night felt so surreal.
Truly a dream come true for these boys. I'm going to try not to cry. It's something that they have worked at since the moment that each of them joined the team or joined anything in the OHL when they've been drafted, or if they were free agents that came onto this team. Every one of them have worked all season and the years that they have been with Kitchener to get to this point. So to actually have it happen, it was unreal. It was truly unreal.
The celebrations weren't only happening in Kelowna. Hundreds of fans gathered at the Odd to cheer on the Blue Shirts in their home arena. Fans there were being live streamed and often got a glimpse of themselves on the big screen in Kelowna. While many stayed late for post-game festivities, some were up bright and early back at the Odd to welcome the Rangers home this morning.
There was about maybe 30 people there. I got there about 4:30 in the morning, and I kept checking the Breslau Airport website to figure out what time they're going to come back to Kitchener. And then I've been talking to a few people, and they say around like 5:30 that they should be landing. And I think they pulled into the Odd about 6 a.m. maybe somewhere around there.
Coming up at 6, I'll have more on last night's celebrations and the welcome party the Rangers returned home to this morning. Leanne.
I'm sure it was a fun one. Karis, thanks so much. And those celebrations will continue Tuesday in downtown Kitchener. People are invited to line King Street between Queen and Yonge Streets for a parade starting at 6 p.m. Then the procession will make its way to Carl's Air Square for a celebration rally featuring players, speeches, and music by the Golden Keys.
The city's been hit by Rangers fever for many weeks now, but to bring the Memorial Cup back to Kitchener for the first time since 2003, I mean, it's just an electric period of time.
The first 2,000 fans can get a free hot dog and Rangers Memorial Cup Championship poster. Parking at many downtown Kitchener lots and garages will be free after 4 p.m. And that is a good time to take a check on the forecast, Ash, because a lot of people are going to be wondering what will the weather be like tomorrow for that parade.
You got it, Leanne. I mean, I represented the Blue Coats today. You know, you got to, congratulations, guys. What an incredible win. And I know the whole city is so excited, the whole region, rather. And I can tell you now, it will be sunny tomorrow.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear.
We're going to need hats and sunscreen for the parade tomorrow. And, you know, it was like that today, very much so. We've had a beautiful weekend coming into this week. And what a start to June, Leanne. Take a look at this radar. Not a lot going on in southern Ontario, which is great news if you don't want to see a cloud or you don't want to see any rain. Right now, we are still sitting very comfortable out there. 22 degrees, a very light wind at 11 kilometers an hour from the north. So it's not not too windy even. And as we take a glance at what's happening around the region, temperatures very comfortably around the low 20s for the most part. Sarnia, just slightly cooler than that right on the waterway there. So overall, not too bad. Let's take a look outside at Carl's Air Square, where all of the action will take place tomorrow night around 6 p.m., where that parade will end up. That looks beautiful out there already.
Yeah, look, you can see they're already getting set up. See the Rangers banner up in the corner there? It's going to be the place to be tomorrow night. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll tell you what you need to know. The Grand River Kitchener-Waterloo Ride for Dad is coming up on June 6th. The fun is happening at 50 Sports World Crossing Road. The ride starts at 9:30 a.m. You can go online to register ahead of time.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news.
Waterloo Regional Police are investigating after shots were fired at a Kitchener home last night. It happened on Beaumont Crescent in the Chicopee area. Neighbors tell us they heard a loud noise around 2:50 a.m. No one was hurt, but bullet holes could be seen on the garage door of a home. People who live in the area say it's chilling to hear gunshots so close to home.
I mean, of course, I'm concerned. I have little kids, like 5 and 8 and 16, so I mean, we actually moved to this neighborhood because we thought it's a nice, safe neighborhood, and I hope it will remain so.
Police say a dark-colored SUV was seen speeding away from the area. Investigators believe it was a targeted incident. Anyone with information or video surveillance is being asked to get in touch with police. A Kitchener restaurant was damaged in a suspicious fire over the weekend. It happened around 5 a.m. Saturday in the area of Lancaster Street West near Ash Street. 9 trucks from 5 stations arrived and brought the flames inside the restaurant quickly under control. No one was hurt, but police say the fire is considered suspicious. The damage estimate has not been released. The Food Bank of Canada's annual poverty report card is out, and Ontario continues to struggle with its programs. The Food Bank gives the province an overall D- for its performance. According to the report card, rates for money for food, shelter, and other costs to people struggling financially in Ontario have been frozen since 2018. Homelessness, meanwhile, has grown nearly 8% since 2024. 85,000 people are unhoused in the province, with an estimated 23% of them being youth and children. And despite rent controls being in place, average rents have climbed 54.5% between 2014 and 2023. The CEO of the Food Bank of Waterloo Region says these numbers are no surprise and is in Ottawa today to call on the federal government for help.
Last month in April alone, nearly 27,000 people accessed a Hammer program. That resulted in more than 60,000 visits right here in Waterloo Region, which is the highest month on record. This can't continue. We know that we need multiple levels of government to come together to change the trajectory, because food banks cannot be relied on to solve this problem.
Colton Weens will have more on the report card tonight at 6. As Canada tightens its response to the growing Ebola outbreak abroad, some experts say containing the virus starts far from our borders. Let's discuss with Dr. Nicola Mercer, the Medical Officer of Health in Wellington, Dufferin Guelph. Dr. Mercer, thanks for your time.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I just want to go over the current situation. We know last week a person in this province tested negative for the virus after returning from Ethiopia. And Canada's top doctor has indicated the risk of Ebola affecting people in this country remains low. Can you give us a bit of an update on where we're at this point in time?
Yeah, I think this is an important virus to talk about because we do hear about it quite frequently. It seems to come back pretty much every year or two. So Ebola, which is right now circulating in Central Africa, the countries of the DRC, and parts of Sudan and Uganda, is one of 4 different strains that make up Ebola. So we know that there are 4 strains. We actually have a vaccine for one of those strains, but unfortunately, this is not the strain that is circulating right now. So So we have a disease which really actually magnifies in countries that don't have a lot of resources or health care. So it actually has a very high fatality rate. So what many people, and I'm sure there are Canadians who are involved in this, they need help from other countries. So in particular, healthcare workers, humanitarian aid workers will often travel from countries like Canada to countries in the part of the world that's affected in order to sort of help them out as they're struggling to contain this outbreak. Of course, these individuals will then have to return home to Canada. So right now, if you are going through one of these areas or coming back from these countries, you actually can't enter unless you are a permanent resident or a Canadian citizen right now. So the people who are coming back are our own citizens right now that we need to look after. And when they arrive at the border, they will be screened, and then they will go into a period of quarantine, depending on, of course, how much at risk they are. Have they been looking after people with Ebola? Have they been in those parts of the country with Ebola? Because remember, not every part of all of these countries is involved with the outbreak. So following that, if they are quarantined, those of us in public health will be following them closely. We know what the incubation period is. It's up to 21 days. So these individuals will be isolating for 21 days. But honestly, in a country like Canada or the United States, if you ever do get a case of Ebola that's from travel coming back, we are much better prepared to manage it, to prevent its spread, because we actually just have just so much more healthcare facilities and resources than these countries do.
Let's say someone is traveling and experiences catching the virus. What are some of the symptoms of Ebola that someone would have?
Yeah, so in order to get this virus, you actually have to come into contact with body fluids. So it's not like if you just happen to walk through a room where somebody had Ebola. So that doesn't usually put you at risk. But if somebody's coughing or sneezing, vomiting, blood, urine, feces, these are all of the body fluids that can cause somebody to become infected. And then the incubation period for most people is around 5 to 12 days, that kind of time frame. It could be a little earlier, could be a little later. So, and when people get sick, they get sick really quickly. So we know it's like the sudden onset of a fever, chills, myalgias, which are muscle aches and pains. They feel quite unwell quite quickly. And then it just progresses from there. And for people who are going to do well, they usually get better around the second week. They start to feel better. And for those who are not going to do well with this disease, and it does have a very high mortality in this part of the world, up to 50%. For those individuals, usually the second week they get worse.
Now, with the FIFA World Cup set to begin in less than 2 weeks now, what are some of the challenges health officials are preparing for that come with, these types of large international gatherings?
Now, this is a great question, and certainly the province as well as local public health units, we've been practicing for this and getting ready for this, because it's not just about Ebola, it's about a whole variety of communicable diseases that could come along with an international sporting event like this. So as we're looking to this one up and coming, I'm sure people are worried about Ebola, but it's my understanding that the team that is coming from this part of the world, they need to be isolating for 21 days. And that's important. That's a quarantine period. So if you have people that have not been in contact with anyone with Ebola and they've been isolating for 21 days, then the risk to that coming to Canada and for Canadians is actually extremely low. We know that they would not have Ebola coming. But it doesn't mean that it's the only disease that people can bring. They can bring measles, for example. They can bring sexually transmitted diseases. So there's many things that as we welcome international travelers, not just for an event like FIFA, but as we go through, people travel all over the world. Communicable disease doesn't know countries or boundaries. It travels between people.
Certainly. Okay, well, Dr. Mercer, appreciate the insight on this. Dr. Nicola Mercer is the Medical Officer of Health in Wellington, Dufferin Guelph. Thank you.
And thank you.
As we take you to break, we'll tell you what you need to know. The Elmira Vintage Guitar Show is taking place June 7th. You can buy, sell, trade, or even just show off your favorite guitar. There is a $10 cash admission fee. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We were so caught up in Rangers fever earlier. You kind of briefly blew past it, but happy June.
Happy June.
We made it here.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And, you know, it's crazy that we are already 6 months into the year.
Wow.
Where did the time fly?
I don't know. It was a long winter.
It was a really long winter, but the great news is the spring, although it started a little rough, seems like it's ending on a high note.
Yeah, I love that we are seeing this warm weather now, and the mornings are still a little bit crisp. It's like the perfect temperature to get out and enjoy.
I keep saying overnight conditions perfect to sleep. You know, you just open up a window. You don't really need air conditioning at night at the moment. So turn it off, save some money, and enjoy.
We're in that perfect balance right now.
Yes. Now we are going to see a little rain again. It has to happen again.
We need
right
it.
now, check that out. A little bit windy out there, not too bad. Beautiful skies above, though. This is from downtown Kitchener. Dave Pettit, our camera operator, bringing us this shot this afternoon. Thank you, Dave. You can see those flags are moving. And again, this is going to be the spot to be tomorrow when that Kitchener Rangers Memorial Cup celebration parade takes to the streets of downtown Kitchener. Now, as we take a look at the forecast and what you can expect outside while you're there, clear conditions. We are seeing similar to today. We might see a cloud here and there, but overall, clear skies are expected to continue through your Tuesday and into Wednesday. Temperatures also remaining comfortable. Right now, though, across the country, on the west coast, looking quite nice, 21 in Prince George and Vancouver. On the other side of the Rockies, though, much colder day than we saw last week. 9 degrees in Edmonton with rain. Calgary seeing a significant amount of rain, and 7. So much cooler there. They were seeing close to 30 degrees last week. Right now through the prairie provinces, 20 in Saskatoon with some rain. Winnipeg also seeing some rain, and 24. Thompson sitting at 29. Yellowknife 16 and sunny, so not too bad. The further north you go, apparently. Here in Ontario, we are looking at 21 for Montreal, and I know that Montreal is not in Ontario, Quebec rather, and Ottawa 21 there for Ontario, 17 in Toronto, 22 in Sudbury. And as we push further east towards St. John's, believe it or not, they're seeing some flurry activity and 3 degrees. So we cannot complain here when we're seeing temperatures like these. 22 in Waterloo region, very comfortable out there. And overnight tonight, as Leanne and I were just talking, perfect sleeping weather. 7 degrees, the expected overnight low. Clear conditions, crack those windows open and enjoy a light breeze provided right from Mother Nature. Tomorrow, 21 degrees is our expected daytime high. There will be a high UV index or very high UV index of 8. So if you are headed out to the parade or just spending any time outdoors, good idea to maybe keep a hat and some sunscreen, maybe some sunglasses close by just to be safe. Back in 1945, reaching a temperature of 1.1 as our overnight low, so 7 degrees is pretty perfect. Taking a look at our first at 5 forecast for the region. Check that out, Leanne. Sunny conditions should round us out for the week with temperatures soaring by Thursday.
You gotta love that, Ash. That 5-day forecast looking pretty perfect. Thanks so much. Let's take a look at what is trending on this Monday afternoon. Heated rivalry dominated the Canadian Screen Awards last night.
And the Canadian Screen Award goes to Hudson Williams. Heated rivalry.
Vancouver's Hudson Williams picked up the award for Best Lead Performer in a Drama Series. The hit hockey romance show on Crave had a record-setting 16 wins, including Best Drama Series and Audience Choice Award. Several Special Achievement Awards were also handed out, including to Heated Rivalry actress Sophie Nélisse. Okay, still ahead on CTV News at 5, a weekend rescue. How Cambridge firefighters showed up to save stranded ducklings and reunite them with their mom. We'll have the details coming up. Here's what you need to know. It is Pride Month. Celebrate in Cambridge on June 13th during the Pride Street Parade. Over 50 vendors are expected to participate throughout the downtown core. The event is free to attend.
KW's Bounce 99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Listen all summer for your chance to win. Turn the lights off, carry me home. With Bounce to your backyard.
Here's the final 5 stories we're following. Doctors and patients alike are singing the praises of a new drug designed to treat one of the world's deadliest diseases, pancreatic cancer. Daraxonrasib is an experimental drug that targets gene mutations present in up to 90% of pancreatic cancers. Those mutations typically cause cells to replicate quickly and out of control. The drug, taken once daily, reduced the risk of death by 60% and extended lifespan from 6.7 months from diagnosis to death to more than 13.2 months. After more than 2 years of labor unrest, postal workers have voted overwhelmingly in favor of a tentative agreement. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers, which represents roughly 55,000 Canada Post workers, says its members voted more than 85% in favor of the 5-year deal. It includes wage increases of 6.5% and 3% in the first 2 years. About 60% of the union board endorsed the proposed agreement for its job security. However, the union's president asked members to reject the deal, arguing it rolls back rights and compensation. In a recent ranking of the top universities around the world, nearly all Canadian schools are losing ground. The list from the Centre for World University Rankings showed 37 of Canada's 38 ranked universities declined compared to last year. The only exception was the University of Toronto, which remained in the 23rd spot as Canada's top-ranked institution. The rankings evaluated more than 21,000 universities around the world based on things like education quality, employability, and research output. Harvard secured the top spot for the 15th straight year, followed by MIT and Stanford. Canada's national men's soccer team will hit the pitch tonight for a friendly match against Uzbekistan. The game, which will be played in Edmonton, is a key dress rehearsal for Canada, who recently unveiled their full World Cup roster. Alphonso Davies will not take the pitch tonight as he continues to recover from injury. The team is hopeful he'll be ready to play in some World Cup matches, but he's not expected to play in their first match next Friday. Kickoff for tonight's game is set for 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch it on TSN. And finally for us, here's some proof firefighters are really ready to respond to any emergency at any time. Over the weekend, Cambridge firefighters showed up to rescue a family of ducklings trapped in a sewer. They were able to save them, get them out of there, and reunite them with the mama duck. Very sweet story. We'll leave it there. We'll be back at the top of the hour with your next local news. Have a good night. Take care.